the #1 car channel in the United Kingdom. Is that right?
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's not American, you know, Americans got you beat, but that's how it usually goes. Hello everyone and welcome. I am here beside the 2017 Dodge Hellcat Widebody and I'm here with Alex from Throttle. We're going to be talking about 10 interesting facts about this car and I know sometimes I get a little too technical, a little too nerdy, so I've got Alex here to help me explain it to everyone, the layman, and he'll still sound smart doing it because he's British.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Now, one of the most obvious changes about this car is that the tires are 30 millimeters wider versus the standard Hellcat, and that gives better longitudinal grip. So this is actually taking the 0 to 60 down from 3.5 seconds to 3.4 seconds, an increase of an average of 0.02 Gs in acceleration.
So in other words, you're just a massive nerd and this car is just really fast, right?
Well, technically really quick.
Yeah, technically you're a nerd.
Now, aside from acceleration, they also help with lateral grip, so it's now able to pull 0.97 lateral Gs versus 0.93. What that means is if you're going around a 100-meter radius corner, you're able to travel 2.4 kilometers per hour faster, or about 1.5 miles faster around that corner.
To translate, you are more of a nerd than I ever thought possible, and also, this is an American car that can actually corner.
Not bad. Now, the Hellcat Widebody is 3.5 inches wider versus the regular Hellcat, and the drag coefficient has gone from about 0.38 to about 0.40. Now, what this means is that there's more aerodynamic drag, and as a result, top speed has gone from 199 miles per hour down to 195 miles per hour. Much like humans, as cars get wider, they get slower.
Hey, you're looking at me when you're saying that. You calling me fat?
No, I'm saying I'm faster.
Prove it.
Now, as a result of putting wider tires on the car, it increases the steering moment, and so if you're at low speeds in a parking lot, it can make steering difficult. As a result, they've switched the standard Hellcat over from hydraulic steering to electronic power steering, to make it easier in parking lots.
That's really nice of them, to accommodate people like you who, wow, you've been working out?
Strong. Yeah, it's not for me, it was for others.
Oh,
yeah.
For others, okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Now, we've got larger wheels, we've got larger tires, we've got larger body panels. All of this adds about 50 pounds to the car's weight, but it's still about 2 seconds faster per lap on a 1.7 mile road course that Dodge tested it on. Which
means, ladies and gentlemen, that weight reduction is a lie.
Underneath the hood is a 2.4 liter twin screw supercharger, and it takes 80 horsepower just to run this thing.
So let me get this straight. The supercharger has a bigger displacement than your Honda engine at 2 liters, and it also requires more power to run than your car produces.
Kind of like Phil, yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. Now you can see on the supercharger, these banks on the left and right, there's actually 2 built-in air-to-water intercoolers to cool that intake charge. Now Dodge has done some testing and they've found that they can run the car 20 minutes flat out on a racetrack at 100 degrees ambient Fahrenheit temperature, and it doesn't derate the engine at all, and it keeps the intake air temperatures under 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this supercharger can flow 30,000 liters of air per minute, and I did the math, since you're British, 4 cups of tea every single day for your entire life if you live to be 87 years old. That's the equivalent volume in 1 minute.
Are we talking English breakfast here or Earl Grey?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Now, interesting fact about the exhaust valves, they're actually filled with sodium, and the reason they do this is it helps extract that heat from the head of the valve up into the stem and then distribute it within the engine. It keeps the exhaust valves cooler.
Oh, you guys really do like your salt in America, don't you?
Yes, we do. Now the exhaust valves are cool, but the intake valves are also cool. They're actually hollow, and the reason they do this is a pushrod engine, and pushrod engines are notorious for having valve float at high RPM, and that's a result of reciprocating mass of those pushrods and the intake valves. Well, they've taken some of the mass out of those intake valves by making them hollow, and as a result, at 6,200 RPM, this engine's redlined. They don't have to worry about valve float.
So what you're trying to say is, just like your soul, these valves are hollow.
Wow, man, that's...
Yeah, pretty feisty, right?
I guess accurate, but hurtful. And finally, talking about some of the aerodynamics of the car, this actually uses the same spoiler that's on the Hellcat, not the one that's used on the Demon and the 392. Reason being, although it adds 11 pounds of additional drag, it actually has about 30 more pounds of downforce that it puts on the back of the car.
So 30 pounds, the equivalent of you sitting on the boot trunk?
Dude, I'm not 30 pounds.
You can't even lift 30 pounds though, right?
I can't lift 30 pounds. Oh yeah! Thank you guys for watching. Alex, thank you for joining me. And now you should head over to Car Throttle and check out our review of this sick V8 swapped BMW.
You know I didn't mean all the bad things I said about you before, right?
Yeah, they're there.